he's been openly discussing or posting, he likes to post text messages and things like that. But he's been publicly saying that I guess he's kind of being blacklisted. He's saying that his people have been reaching out to venues for him to put a tour together, and he's having a hard time booking venues. And I guess at that point we need to ask the question, why can't Kanye West, yay, okay? The what did they used to? I can't remember the thing
I'll
they
say
used to call him.
there's more coming.
There's more, but I can't even remember everything right now. But why is it that Kanye West cannot book a stadium or arena right now? Do you have any thoughts?
I don't even believe it. I think this is propaganda.
You do?
Yeah, I don't think this is true.
Oh, yeah. I
But
hope he's not lying. I'm, I'm
y-
over here all gullible, like, oh my gosh, he would lie about that?
yeah, why not? Niggas lie
No,
about
you're
everything.
right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
People, when I say niggas in this sentence, I mean people.
Oh
People lie
yeah.
about
Well,
everything.
it knows no gender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or race.
Or well, yeah.
In
Depends
this
on
in this
depends on
instance of people
oh,
lying.
right. Yeah, exactly. Because it depends on the conversation. Yeah.
In this one,
This one, yeah.
yeah, I think he could absolutely be lying.
I believe oh,
Excusez-moi.
that was honest. That
Yep. Good
was
joke.
not a
See, good
lie.
joke.
Okay.
Nope. My body was like, hey, I have something to say on the pod.
You passed the lie detector test. Okay, that polygraph is clean.
You know what I'm saying? My body was like, all right, I have something to say. Me, I have something to say about Kanye West.
Which is also really funny because I haven't done my nightly yawn yet. So, did
Beat
you
you to it this
steal
time.
my
You know what I'm
nightly
saying?
yawn?
Like I stole it. I thiefed it. I borrowed it. You can have it back tomorrow night.
Oh,
Anyway,
thank you so
I
much.
think people lie all the time. I think this could
They do.
absolutely be more propaganda, more marketing, more
Hmm.
rollout, more um more media manipulation, more ways for Kanye to know that the blogs are going to pick this up, the
Yeah.
Twitters are going to pick this up, and that the fans will see it and say, oh man, they're giving Kanye a hard time. This is wrong. I'm going to make sure I buy a ticket when he comes to my city.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree that there's a possibility. Now that you say that, I'm like, that's absolutely possible. And especially coming from Kanye, totally possible.
But let's play devil's advocate.
Hmm.
Give us the side if we do believe him. I gave don't believe him. Let's say we do believe him and the many screenshots we saw. What do you feel?
Anti Semitism.
Please elaborate.
Kanye has repeatedly talked about how it's him, God, and Hitler. Um, Kanye has repeatedly spoken about Jewish people and their origins and their culture. At some point, when you keep messing with somebody, and there are many conversations that could happen outside of this one about the groups that you mess with, and there's a reaction to it, right? But we don't even have to go there. We just need to know that if you bother somebody enough, eventually they're going they're going to want nothing to do with you. And I'm not saying I don't think that Kanye, I don't know what the reach is, right? So I don't know how far reaching that could go for a person so monumentous, so huge as Kanye West.
Mm.
So I think I would be naive to say that everybody's on the same page because I don't really know. Like I don't know how far that reach goes. But what I do think could be a possibility is that venues are probably like, I don't want any problems with this. I don't want protesters outside of my venue. I don't want any people coming into the venue and then there's problems between um visitors of the venue because of whatever beliefs they may have. I hope
Problems.
they're okay. I hope
You
everybody's
said
all
you
right.
said problems, and then the sirens came.
Right.
You didn't even know that
Um
your iPhone could do that.
I had no idea. I know it does the thumbs up, but I did not know it
See,
does that.
it's a new effect. Sirens.
Exactly. so so I think there is a world where this happens, especially when you're talking about people who control the banks and people who like the
And
reach,
people who own the venues.
people who own the venues. Yeah, like that's why I'm saying I don't know how far the reach is, but I know how long the lineage goes. And it is perfectly possible, maybe not every venue. And this is what I thought to myself. I didn't think necessarily that he was lying about the whole thing, but I did think to myself that there could be a possibility that maybe it happened with a couple of venues. Maybe it wasn't all of the venues, but maybe it was a couple of the venues, and he then used that to his advantage to say, oh my gosh, the 15 venues I reached out to, only two of them will let me perform there. And it's like, okay, Kanye, really?
Right.
Meanwhile, it was only two that said they would rather not host him. But yeah, I think it's perfectly possible that people are like, "Well, we're tired of your shit, and we don't want anything to do with this, and we don't want to bring any. We don't. There's been so much that has happened. Like, no, it's not a festival, but coming off of Astro World, and then there was another festival where there was an issue that happened. And again, I know festivals are very different from these arenas, but I think that similar things can happen, right? In venues where he loves that kind of rave atmosphere too, like the mosh pits and all of that stuff. And there there's a safety issue that comes with
Yeah,
that.
and liability.
So much liability on top of the fact that people are probably just like, why would we let you come here when you've continuously proven that you have no regard for us? And by us, I'm just talking about, I'm not talking about myself, but that's what I would think. If it were true, that would be the first thing that I would think. Because
Gotcha.
black people are forgiving. Black people still
Too
gonna buy the
forgiving.
tickets.
Too
Yes,
forgiving.
too forgiving sometimes, but
When we like a person, we'll forgive them for a lot of bullshit.
yeah, and we'll buy the tickets,
And
we'll
we'd be like,
go.
I mean, he smacked my mom. Yeah, it's true, but she was
Right.
kind of being a bitch though, so maybe it's all right. Maybe.
That is very common. So I don't think it's that. I don't know.
Me either.
You don't have any thoughts on that?
I gave you my side already. I think he's lying.
Oh, yeah. Well, but then you asked, what is the other side? So I'm just
Well, I
curious
was
if.
doing that for the audience so they could have,
Oh,
both sides.
that's true. You're right.
Balance.
In all things.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, we'll see what happens with that. I'm sure Kanye will be able to cobble together a tour. He could just
I'm
do Sunday
absolutely sure
service.
Kanye will tour.
He could just do Sunday service. He could just do it on like some like a dusty desert or something. I don't know.
A dusty desert.
Go to the Poconos or something in the woods. Kanye wants to have concerts in the woods. Like I could totally see that. Like what a venue. Okay, and I'm going off on a tangent, but a good venue for Kanye would be Red Rock.
Oh my God.
Anyway, well, we can talk about that another time. If y'all are looking for concert venues, call me.
Uh-huh.
I've got some ideas.
No connections, but ideas.
Listen, Okay. Sometimes all you need is the idea to get the ball rolling.
That's true.
Hmm.